My video for August 17th, 2018, which is video number 2818, is entitled 10 Secret Groups in the Chimera Group. My friend, Mr. Ed, sent this to me and asked that I make a video about it. Quote, Cobra tells us to raise the awareness of who the bad guys are in this matrix on planet Earth. He claims we focus too much attention on the Cabal or Illuminati, when the true understanding of all our prison planet problems stems from the Chimera Group. So I found a list of the top 10 secret groups that work under the control of the Chimera Group. Number 1, the Freemasons. Number 2, the Illuminati. Number 3, Skull and Bones. Number 4, Sons of Liberty. Number 5, the Thule Society. Number 6, Knights of the Golden Circle. Number 7, the Black Hand. Number 8, Hashshashin, which is the Order of Assassins. Number 9, the Bilderberg Group. Number 10, Ordo Templi Orientis. I have compiled some information from the Cobra site to help us understand and raise awareness of who the Chimera Group are. From all my years of exhaustive research, I've fully come to an understanding of the secret groups listed above, but I did not understand who the root of the problem was. Not until recent years have I learned about the Chimera Group from Orion. I do not know about the Draconians from Orion, and it is still not clear to me if the Chimera are reptilian or something else. So for now, we will focus on what we do know about them and go from there. Likely the reason this group has remained so elusive and hides behind all these secret societies mentioned above is to keep us from knowing of them. If we have awareness of them, we can focus our energy into the destruction and removal of their presence on our planet Earth. And I think they fear this and us, and this is why we know so little about them. The dark must remain in the dark to keep them safe. We need to shed some light on them, as they cannot exist in the light. Knowledge is power. So I hope this information will help empower mankind and help rid us of dark, off-world entities that are here to keep us suppressed and under their control. Mankind will never know what true freedom is until we remove these evil beings from our earth. There's an awful lot in that, and that's the end of the quote, by the way. When I said on earth, that was the end of the quote from Mr. Ed. That's what he sent me to make the video about. And like Mr. Ed, I have been aware of some of these groups. I can't say that I've ever heard of the Black Hand or the Knights of the Golden Circle or the Sons of Liberty. I have heard of the Thule Society, the Illuminati, Skull and Bones, Freemasons. I have had friends that are part of the Freemasons. Any Shriner is part of the Masonic orders. And there are branches of those in various places in the world. And a lot of people say that it all comes out of Switzerland. That's where the root of it all is. That's where they hide. That's why the Swiss have always been neutral, because that's actually the headquarters. Now, is that true? I'm not saying it is or isn't, because the truth of the matter is I don't know what is true and what is false. There is so much deception going on, and it's always mixed with elements that either are true or things we'd like to be true, which could be smoke screens to divert our attention from what's really going on. We live in a very convoluted system on planet Earth, where it is obvious to me and to many of us that the people that rise to the highest positions of power are those that are employed by those who remain secretive. Even the Pope and the things that we're familiar with, the politicians that that seem to run governments and perhaps even the international bankers are all working for this Chimera Group, whatever that is. And I'm not saying I know a whole lot about it. I'm merely reporting what I was asked to report. And I know that Mr. Ed has the intention of wanting to see all of us empowered so that we can actually bring the changes that are needed to this planet that will enrich all of us and bring justice to those that refuse to repent. And I mean, you know that if you've been listening to my videos for any length of time, you know that I keep calling on Creator or God to take responsibility for creation. And yes, I don't mean that God has to do it all and we're not supposed to play a role. We have to play a role because that's part of the process of our learning about how things work. We have to be personally involved, but I don't believe that any of us are powerful enough to do it by ourselves without the divine help that is required, or the empowerment at some level that is necessary to transform us and help us to transform the world around us. Now, of course, a lot of people that get their news from the TV sets, and mostly it's from TV now in the modern generation. Most of the people that only get their news from there are going to be clueless, because they, even though they may sense that something isn't right. I mean, I watched, or not watched, but I observed an individual in the apartments where I live who was in the lobby listening to something, and I thought, my God, I hope they don't buy into that. But it was pure poppycock. I mean, it was not, what was coming across was simply not true. And I've had friends, as I said, that were Freemasons. I've had friends that were, well, I don't know. I'm looking at this list again. I guess Freemasons is which was number one on the list. It's the only one. I mean, I've had friends that were Freemasons and Shriners and stuff like that. But folks, we do need help. We do need an awakening. And I want to put this out there that it is obvious to me, and I would think to a lot of others, that those that pull a lot of the strings on this planet are malevolent beings. I mean, it's obvious to me, and they force people into signing non-disclosure agreements. And unless the person is very adept at standing up to criminality and discovering it for themselves, it's a foolproof method by the dark forces to keep their secrets hidden. That's what is necessary for them. They have to remain in the dark, because if they are exposed, we will be empowered. We will be able to take them down with divine help, with extraterrestrial assistance or whatever. But we need to have this awakening. And I'm actually going to finish this. I was thinking it was going to go over 10 minutes, but it's only 9 minutes right now, and I'm okay. So, folks, I encourage you to try to figure out a way to talk to people and to make people aware that we are in a transitional state, and there's going to be some very important and significant changes that have to come. Otherwise, as I've said before, the planet will be destroyed yet again, and we will go into another world where the same dark forces will build everything back up from scratch. And their whole game plan is control. We need to be able to rise above that to get out of it. And I hope that happens, and I hope we get the help we need. Thank you for listening, and namaste.